Welcome back, OIG family, to another exciting episode in our AMA series. Today I had the privilege of speaking to Steven, who is the CBDO of Kyberdyne Games. Kyberdyne Games is going to be the first blockchain-based deck-building game, and it brings a huge potential to gamers as a free-to-join game, a play-to-earn game with NFTs, tokenomics, the list goes on. Join us as we go through this epic adventure of what Kyberdyne is. Hey Steven, welcome to our show. Really excited to have you here. We really want to get to know what Kyberdyne is all about. Could you describe what Kyberdyne is and just give us an intro into how you got started with it?
Sure. Thank you, Romeo. Thank you for having me, and thanks for everybody for watching this. So let me just get right into it. So Kyberdyne is a deck building game. But it's much more than that. It has also a roguelike strategy elements, and it's also going to be integrated in the metaverse, where players can occupy land, build their own bases, defend them, or go on the attack or harassment against their opponents. So it offers much more than a card game, which sometimes it's perceived at. And as such, it's actually the first blockchain-based deck building game, but again, that I would not put it into that kind of narrow definition, because as you can see from the gameplay, it's extremely dynamic and interesting.
Oh, for sure. And quite the ambitious game with all the different mechanics that we're obviously going to get into it in the AMA. But could you tell us more about the team and their experience and how that's going to help them build this game?
Yeah, absolutely. So how the game started, actually, the Kyberdyne team is part of a AAA game development studio. So they're all veterans, average more than 12 years experience for the senior team in very senior positions, some of the biggest gaming labels in the industry, including Ubisoft and Tencent, pioneers of esport, and they have under their sleeve as developers, designers, project managers, and so on, senior positions, big blockbuster games, including Assassin's Creed, Dragon's Nest, Dota 2, Torchlight, Heroes 4, and so on. And they discovered that, okay, gaming is getting very hot in the blockchain, but the games that they noticed weren't that entertaining, actually. They were more like gamifications. They were more like tools for mining NFTs, let's say. So the play to earn, which is a great invention, of course, was more focused on the earn part. So what they wanted to do in one simple phrase is bring the play in P2E up to the world-class gaming level.
And you really made a good point about the blockchain gaming space and how super saturated it is with a lot of games that aren't really, to put it frank, fun. And that's the main reason that we get players to even enjoy a game, right? So focusing on that aspect as well as the play to earn aspect is key in creating an immersive experience. And I'm blown away that the team that you have has worked on such. I mean, like you listed out all those games that, I mean, they're pretty big games like Assassin's Creed, Dota 2. That's really impressive experience to have on a team for Kyberdyne. So with the blockchain-based game world exploding, what are the features that Kyberdyne brings to the table that will differentiate themselves from the competition?
Sure. I mean, I would summarize it as two main features. So first, of course, the gameplay, as we mentioned, we want as you mentioned correctly, Romeo, the immersiveness factor, the addictiveness factor that makes you like lose your sleep and enrage your relatives. But I'm an avid gamer, but I've been there. So that's one thing that we want to make accessible to blockchain players as well. And at the end, you don't want to just play as a job to try to generate some income. We want our players to have it all, basically to really, really enjoy themselves, to be addicted to the gameplay, to be entertained, have unique experiences throughout each chapter, throughout each battle that they have in Kyberdyne, and at the same time enjoy all the benefits for play to earn. What's more, our designers are not just game designers or developers. They are very experienced in all aspects of the game, including the gaming economy. You know, traditional games, they have economies and money as well. Well, all that is also brought to the blockchain space to make sustainable and attractive and motivating game economy with all the benefits of play to earn, plus much more features that I'll get into later, but I'll just mention dynamic NFTs, personalization, customization, and so on.
So that's very interesting. And you mentioned the NFTs. Can you go into them a little more in detail and what makes them so special?
Sure, I'll be more than happy to. So there are a few features that we're introducing that we hope the communities will enjoy. One of them is dynamic NFTs. So a lot of games come with pre-minted NFTs, kind of static images, basically that are, again, used mostly for mining liquidity and so on. But there's little options for example, customizing the appearance, right? Well, Kyberdyne has two advantages here. One, it's using a custom-built game engine, which makes its rendering capabilities stronger than most, let's say, even traditional games. So this allows us to do what? This allows us to personalize each character up to the tiniest detail. Later, we can show a slide that shows some of the options, but you can customize the nose, the lips, the eyebrows, the eye color, the skin color, face shape, hair, everything, basically, and make the character appear as you wish, and even like a virtual doppelganger, right? Or like anybody else you want. We have 4 races, each of them fully customizable, and in your deck you have 8 cards that you go into battle with. So each of them you can basically make it your own and very unique. Not just that, but even if you are busy or you prefer the engine to generate the card for you, we have a AI algorithm that makes sure that each newly generated card is unique in a combination of features. So that just makes sure that no two Kyberdyne cards are exactly the same, which is what NFT is all about, basically. Non-fungible means unique, kind of. And on the other side, not just the appearance. Each character can go into different careers and can have different upgrades. So then, with all that power of customization, personalization, you are basically in control of your NFT and your whole deck of cards. And we hope people will enjoy that more than like pre-made, off-the-shelf cards.
For sure. And having it pretty much sounds like an endless amount of unique NFTs, because you can either have the algorithm or you can choose the features yourself. So it's almost like every single person in the entire galaxy will have their own unique catered NFT to them, their liking. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see that the combinations are limitless. So
Wow.
yeah, even if the entire galaxy of more than hundreds of billions of combinations, I think I haven't done the math actually, but I'll try to get back to you with the exact number. But yeah, it's very hard to even if you try to make exactly the same
Wow.
card, and that includes the appearance plus, as I mentioned, the upgrades and careers paths and so on.
Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. I mean, it just gives everybody a chance to be unique, and that's what everybody's looking for in the metaverse too, right? To
We
really,
hope so, yes.
exactly, to really showcase
Indeed.
who they are, and that's amazing. And you also touched on a very key mechanic in, like you said, in every game, which is the monetary energy within the game. So, could you explain the native tokens that are associated with Kyberdyne?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, the team is very experienced in traditional gaming and sophisticated economies in those. And then now we add additional layer, which is the blockchain layer, the game was built for blockchain from scratch. It's not an adaptation. Uh, and as such, its economy is deeply integrated, and therefore it could be deployed easily cross-chain as well. But what what tokens do we have? We have two tokens. All right, one is called KBD for Kyberdyne, which is our native token. It's the game energy. Is the token that is now actually on the ongoing IDO and will be listed on an exchange as well soon after. And this token is used for a number of ways to generate income. One is you can stake it. When you stake it, you can earn some NFT card fragments actually before they become NFTs. You can bet it into arena player versus player battles, beautifully designed environmental arenas where you can challenge anybody and bet on yourself, not on the other guy because that could create conflicts of interest. And you can earn that as well. Also, the KBD is the game energy. So whenever you play and battle, you end up expending some of that as well. As I mentioned, you can always replenish from an exchange. You can also use it to upgrade your cars to NFT level and beyond. I'll get more into that later. And also, you can at the end of each chapter garrison some of your NFTs there to do some mining, liquidity mining. So there are many ways that you can use our token. The secondary token, which is more for the in-game play, is like the game in gold or money. It's called therefore K Gold. That one is also a blockchain token, but we don't plan to list it separately. Of course, since it's a blockchain token, it could be some users may decide to do that. It's used for gameplay items. Basically, as you play versus the environment, you can earn as you complete some missions or tasks, or if you find items, you can sell them. Also, you can buy items with and those items, then you can incorporate them in your future card upgrades to make your cards stronger, reach NFT level, and beyond that.
There's a huge connection between the tokens as well as the NFTs utility, and they work coincide with each other. And like you said, K Gold is typically going to be used within the game, but KBD is that game energy. So really cool stuff. And you even mentioned the NFTs. They like it doesn't stop with just the customization. You can also upgrade your skills within that NFT. Is that right too?
Absolutely, sir.
Wow.
So here's, I'll just give a simple scenario. Our game is free to join. So anybody who comes will get airdropped 8 cards for a deck that is necessary for play. And they can play versus the environment for free. We even give them some KBD for free. Right?
Wow.
They can experience the game, see if they like it without any investment. And then, of course, sooner or later, they'll run out of energy. They'll need to replenish it. But by this point, we hope they will have been convinced that there's something that's worth it for them, for their time, etc. The NFTs themselves, they're all cards. So we're a deck building game. You have a deck of cards. Those cards start not as NFTs. They start with 0 stars. As you keep upgrading them, though, and you can, there are a few ways to upgrade them. Actually, maybe I'll touch on them now.
Yeah.
So the 3 ways actually you can upgrade your cards to reach NFT level, which is 3 stars and beyond that. So first, you can just incorporate in-game items such as weapons or armor or other stuff that you could make your character stronger. So they will be now as part of this your card forever. For this, you'll need to spend either some K Gold to buy those items, or if you already found them, you earned them, you can use them directly. Of course, there's opportunity cost because you could have sold them, right? And with some KBD too, now your card will get upgraded and get stronger. The second way is to merge two separate cards. We call it synthesis. So when you synthesize, you take two cards, you merge them with some KBD, and you get one stronger card. This kind of takes care of also obsoleting weaker cards, reducing the number of cards, increasing the overall kind of gameplay level and difficulty. Number three is kind of unique. Our characters are male or female, and if they like each other, they can form couples and have a few opportunities to breed. So as you can imagine, then the child card will have some features of both its parents. And that also involves some KBD. So players can choose of any of these three ways to upgrade their cards to reach the 3 stars or beyond and get extremely strong heroes, basically. Each of those cards are your heroes. Those are your generals, basically. And also, of course, they can go to the marketplace and buy a ready one or sell theirs. It's all up to them. That's part of the fun too.
That's really cool. The synthesis feature, it's a very genius feature from what you're saying, because that just encourages players to, like you said, to disregard weaker cards, and overall the game is going to have a more richer experience as they merge these different NFTs with these different traits and create new and improved traits that are built upon the previous generation, let's say. And then that also with the couples and birthing another NFT. So I'd imagine
Breeding.
breeding. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that that new breed would have a combination, like you said, of the parents' character traits, but obviously you're starting from a lower level, right? That you'd have to still build it up, and that's one of the reasons why you would wanna you could still push it even further, right? So it becomes even stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, Romeo. Those are great points. So yes, when you synthesize two cards, the one that comes will be stronger, right? When you breed, the child will take features from both parents. Whether it will be strong or not depends on the parents. Because of course, if your cards are already at NFT level and you synthesize them, for example, then it will be even stronger high level NFT. Right?
Wow.
Or if the parents are already NFT level cards, they will have few options to breed, but when they produce the child, it will also be very strong as compared to as produced by weak parents, right?
That's really
But
cool.
yeah, the variety will increase. That's a great point that I haven't thought of. On top of reducing the overall card inflation, right? All these weak cards hanging around and not playable really, not powerful enough. Yes, you can still use them to upgrade your strong cards. So that's what we're aiming for.
And I'm truly blown away, and I would love to see how how would all of this coincide with the play to earn model. I know we touched on it briefly, but I mean there's a lot of mechanics at play here. How do they all work with the play to earn model?
One of the main value earnings, of course, is to make your NFT valuable. That you can, if you wish later to trade it, right? You can earn a lot of money for it. So all this happens through those upgrades that I mentioned. Additionally, passive players can stake. Like we've been asked, like, well, okay, I don't have much time to play, so what do I do? Stake your KBDs. Stake your KBDs, and you will keep earning card fragments, which, when enough, will get you more and more cards that you can use in different ways. You can either sell, or you can use for upgrade, or you can use for gameplay. So that's second. And also, as I mentioned, end of each chapter, you can do NFT mining if you garrison some of your cards there with some KBD, then you can mine more of that. And additionally, if you're a strong player and you like to challenge and you win, every time you win, you first you earn something, but also you can bet on yourself. So if you bet and keep winning bets, at least more than you lose, that's another way to earn. So there's like what, four now? Yeah, 4 to 5 ways to earn, and you can choose one or a combination, whatever fits your lifestyle and game style better.
For sure. And going back to your previous point about how this game is going to be a free to join game, that really creates the perfect environment for mass adoption. And really, we're going to see Kyberdyne's full potential when people start to get their hands on it. So let's jump over to our next segment, which is Twitter questions, where we take some questions off
Sure.
of our Twitter community. These questions were asked days before the AMA, and we'll start with our first question here. So Ironman07 asks, game design and development is very different from crypto development, and many play-to-earn games launched recently have failed to deliver the fun aspect in the game. So how has this team's experience helped with this?
Yeah, I just love this question because, as we said already in the first question, that was the entire reason Kyberdyne was created. Um, yes, game design and development is a very different animal from most crypto and DeFi and exchanges and other projects. You need a totally different skill set. It's the illusion that IT covers all aspects of IT. That's not true. So you definitely need to be very deep into it with your entire team to be able to deliver a high quality double A or God forbid triple A game, and that's not attainable for most of the crypto projects because of the it's just a whole new industry, and many just decide, okay, I'll jump on the bandwagon and issue some NFTs, and that's what you end up with: boring gameplay and people playing just for the earn part. And then why we don't attract traditional gamers is because, yes, I mean, you know what games you like, and on your phone, on the console, on your PC, and so on. And the blockchain games fall short. Another reason, actually, is that because quite often they're controlled by the investors, the venture capitalist firms, want the safe bet, they want a proven model. Even though the industry is so young, they still want a proven model, so they go into replicating tower defenses and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we decided there is a gap, and we decided to fill it. And our main point, and I keep being asked, like, what would you say to investors who don't like to play games? Why should they buy your token? I Actually, I'm not concerned about it. I'm concerned about the gamers. So I want traditional gamers to come, and I want the existing gamers to enjoy themselves in blockchain. I mean, so in the GameFi. So that's why our team is unique in the case that it has delivered so many extremely sophisticated and successful games already, and this one we delivered in a few months without any seed investment. We just did it by ourselves. So this is something I think that differentiates us, and our track record just speaks for itself. That we can deliver games, and Kyberdyne is just the beginning, actually.
Yeah, and you really hit the nail on the head when you mentioned, VCs and investors are really dictating the narrative of the gaming space because of their inclination that the safe bet is gonna make them money. But really, why do we have games, right? We have games to play, and we have games to play to have fun in. So hearing that you're very focused, and I mean, we've already gone through the team. You have enough experience to make this happen. I have no doubt that Kyberdyne will definitely make this a reality. But excellent answer.
Thank you, Romeo. We will not disappoint. I promise you.
No, 100%.
I'm not guaranteeing financially.
Of course, yeah. We
Doing that.
always have to put that disclaimer that this isn't financial advice, right?
Yes, the fine print.
Perfect. So let's move on to our second question here from Mandana_12. And the question is, I noticed that Kyberdyne's team is actively connecting with the crypto gaming guilds to achieve mass adoption. Nevertheless, what are your plans for connecting with non-crypto players? What's Kyberdyne's approach to inexperienced non-crypto players? Yeah,
That's another fantastic question.
yeah.
Romeo, thank you. So, and thank to the user for that question. So, why we are connecting with so many crypto guilds? Yeah. Well, as we said as I mentioned, we come from traditional gaming. We have developed and marketed many traditional games. And esports, our CGO is the pioneer in esports, Shine, for example. So extremely deep connections in the traditional gaming and marketing. Uh, so we kind of not concerned about that because we kind of got it covered. So that's why we want to push into the crypto part as well.
Yeah.
So to reverse the question, basically we're focusing more on crypto because that is more new to us, right? Because we actually got the traditional part very much covered, as that is our bread and butter for the last more than 10 years.
And you know, like focusing on the blockchain aspect is a natural evolution in gaming, and all the different mechanics that you mentioned have been in gaming for years. They just haven't been utilized effectively, not in the sense that you're in Kyberdyne's approach. So no, that's a very good way of looking at it, and excellent answer there too.
Yeah, amazing point from you. Which reminds me, if you don't mind me, I'll just add a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
words here. So as you said extremely correctly, the games are extremely suitable for blockchain, right? Uh, with only a few exceptions, extremely fast FPSs, for example. Currently, the hash rate is not as fast, but that will catch up very soon, and they will become blockchain. Why? Because currently, who gets all the benefits from from the games?
The game
The
developers.
big game studios, the
Yeah.
Microsoft, the Sonys, the Ubisoft, and so on.
Yep.
Microsoft bought Activision for more than the GDP of many countries in the world, for example, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's extremely profitable. Why? Because they keep all the profits. And developers like the Kyberdyne team get pennies on the dollar for their AAA games that actually they cannot even claim ownership because they sold the rights. And the players, what did they get? Not much. I got many sleepless nights and annoyed my girlfriend playing Call of Duty, you know. So if I made some money though, like that would be nice. So yeah, I think that's coming. So the whole blockchain revolution is happening, and I think that more and more studios and players will realize that, and the games, as the games get better and better, soon it will transition completely.
Yeah.
Because that's fair. That's fair. That's democratic. Like let the developers, designers, engineers, and the players share the benefits.
Exactly. A shared economy, so to speak,
conglomerates.
right? So let's move on to our last Twitter question, and this comes from Pham Trung. And this person asks a couple questions actually. So the first one being, can you tell us a bit about the types of NFTs in Kyberdyne? Next is, how much do we need to get started? What attributes will they have? Will this be an item that will strengthen our characters, or will each NFT be a unique character with a power category like Axie Infinity? So I think we've touched a little bit on this, but I think you could dive into more detail here too.
Sure, Romeo. So yeah, I'll just kind of summarize it. So as I mentioned, we have 4 races. You can choose different career paths, but you can customize the appearance of your card, and then you can customize your upgrade skills and abilities. All right, and when they reach NFT level, they also start getting all these awesome powers like magic attacks and distant blasts and all kinds of stuff. You can see it in our gameplay videos, actually. All right. So it's totally up to you to customize each character, and you have many of those. You have 8, right, for each gameplay, and you can swap them actually during the gameplay. Hot swap. If you know something happens and you need a different type of character with different power, but as you upgrade your cards and they reach the NFT level, and you keep upgrading, and beyond that, they will become more and more valuable because you can win battles, you can close chapters, you can defeat opponents. Later in the metaverse, you can go on the prowl and destroy bases if you have super powerful characters. So So that's going to be totally up to you. Each of them and the whole deck combined, plus your reserves. So full freedom in appearance, powers, and combination of characters. We want unique experience for everybody, every battle versus every opponent in every chapter.
Excellent, excellent. No, I can't wait to see more. And that concludes our Twitter questions segment. So, Steven, could you tell us a little more about Kyberdyne's short-term roadmap? What dates should we mark down on our calendars with regards to NFT sales and IDOs?
Sure, Romeo. So actually, it's good that you asked because the IDO is happening right now, yeah, and it's the second stage of our IDO, and it closes tomorrow. It's on GameStarter, and the previous stage was on Infinity Pad by DAOmaker, and that was already closed. So it's your last chance to jump on the IDO for another, I don't know, less than 24 hours. Um, so that's one of the most important things. Then we have, of course, exchange listings, which will be coming in March. So then, of course, you can get your hands on KBD from the exchange. The NFT pre-sale also will happen in March. Stay tuned for that. We'll update you accordingly, and the TGE, of course. So all these things in March. I'm quite excited about all of them. Plus, the most exciting part, of course, the game is coming in March. First for PC and in English, okay? But soon after, in the next couple of months, it will be ready for Android and iOS. And also with the help of the community, will be translated in many languages around the world. Everybody can play it in their at least most people can play in their native language, and we'll have a program for that too. So quite a few exciting things. Additionally, as I mentioned, we have our Metaverse integration. That's toward the third or fourth quarter, where we will offer land for sale as NFT, and then players can occupy that, build their bases, defend, attack, and so on. Before that, we'll also offer other NFT owners from other role-playing games to bring them to us. And for each of those, we'll issue them a card in Kyberdyne that they can play. So that's on top of our free to join. We also, we also want to attract those players that have idle cards in their hands. And what else? I think, oh, the DAO. So the DAO will also kick in. I think, in May, and we have a pretty good allocation, and we hope the community to get involved and decide many important aspects of the game, the token, and so on the future roadmap. So yeah. Again, very excited about March, but even now, if you have the chance, maybe it's too late, but if you cannot join on the IDO, just wait for our exchange listings, and just get your hands on there, and wait for the game. The game's beta actually already was released, and now it's being to the MVP version. And we're getting good feedback already. So yeah, it's not that we don't have nothing to offer. I hope our community will be excited about this.
Yeah, it really sounds like you got a jam-packed year ahead of you with really huge releases in every quarter. I mean, what would you say you're most excited about with regards to the long-term milestones for Kyberdyne?
Oh, I really cannot wait for the Metaverse, because I'm kind of a StarCraft fan, and I love like having bases and building up your army, even though it's not like a million minions, but a few heroes, but it's a similar kind of thing. And then you can either defend, like fortify yourself, or just go and destroy somebody who you think is weaker, or just go and harass a lot of neighbors so they cannot catch up with you. I cannot wait for that to happen. And there's no new StarCraft coming in. It's not blockchain. But as you know, StarCraft was the king of esports for a reason, like especially in Korea. So yeah, I hope Kyberdyne will be that for blockchain.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I've played StarCraft too. That was a very fun part of my life, and I can't wait to get my friends in on this and join up and join forces. Maybe attack the same people. I mean, there's really limitless potential with Kyberdyne, and yeah, we really are excited to see what's gonna come out from Kyberdyne in the next in this year. Um, so for everybody watching, where can they find more of Kyberdyne?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you will see the links, but yes, we have our official website with all the links. It's kyberdyne.games. And then we have very active Telegram and Twitter communities. And we're also opening now we also open actually, but currently we're growing them Instagram and Discord. But Twitter and Telegram are currently the most active. So I would say follow at least one of those and you will always be updated. Also, please feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure I wasn't able to answer so many fantastic questions. So just come to our groups and ask, please.
For sure. And for all our viewers, the links will be in the description if you'd like to check out Kyberdyne and everything they have to offer. Be sure to check out Kyberdyne and subscribe to all of their channels so that you can keep up to date with all the latest updates coming from Kyberdyne. Well, Steven, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a blast hearing about Kyberdyne. I am really excited, and I'm sure all our viewers are. We can't wait to sit down again and have another chat, and can't wait to play the game.
Romeo, thank you. Pleasure was all mine. And on behalf of the Kyberdyne team, thank you everybody for watching this and having us. And we'll see you in the game.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thank you. Well, OIG family, that wraps up another episode in our AMA series. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell notification button to stay up to date with all the latest news coming out from OIG. Until next time.